Hello taxpayers, welcome to GRA Insider, where we break down tax matters into simple and practical ways to help you make the right decisions. I'm your host, Claude Kwesi, and today we're diving into a very important conversation here in the studio: personal tax reliefs in Ghana. We've been joined by Safas from the Ghana Revenue Authority. You're welcome.
Thank you, Claude.
But before we start the conversation, I want the people watching me to follow us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere at Ghana Revenue. And don't forget that this show will be live on Spotify, so you can also follow us there. Now let's start from the basis. What exactly are tax reliefs? Because when people hear the term often, they don't understand what it is. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, so tax reliefs basically lessen your tax burden. So we are saying tax reliefs, relieving you of your taxes. So situations that would allow you to apply to GRA to lessen your tax burden for you.
Okay, so example.
So example, you are married, you have a dependent spouse, or you are single, you have two dependent wards. It means that you can apply. It means that you are entitled to a relief of 1,002 in that situation.
Okay.
You have children schooling in the country, in a recognized institution in the country. It means that you are entitled to a relief of 600 per child, up to a maximum of 3. You have aged dependents who are above 60 years old. It means that you are entitled to 1,000 per aged dependent, up to a maximum of 2, so 2,000. You are fiscally challenged of assault. You have a disability of assault, and you have a letter from social welfare. You can also apply to GRA, so that GRA will grant you that relief. We are saying that 25% of your income, don't pay the tax on it at all.
Okay.
You are 60 years and above. The law is saying that you are entitled to a relief of 1,005. You have mortgage interest. You have applied for mortgage, and the interest, we are saying that don't pay the tax on the interest at all. You have also undergone training, vocational or professional, to increase your knowledge. The law is saying that you are entitled to a relief of 2,000 for the whole year.
Okay, so in your examples, you actually stated the types, but I want you to state them properly for me.
Basically, we have 8.
That's what we listed earlier,
yes,
right?
The ones we listed earlier.
So a lot of people get confused with tax reliefs and tax holidays. You can attest to that, right?
Yeah.
What are the difference? Are they the same?
No. So they are similar, but not the same. So tax reliefs basically apply to persons, and then the tax holidays apply to companies. So take, for example, a company is situated, maybe a nature of the company or the situation of a company. Maybe the company is located in a locality, maybe outside Accra. Probably the person would have tax holiday based on the person's location. The person is into tree cropping or a certain business, then the person would have a tax holiday for a period. Okay. Usually 5 years or 10 years, but the tax relief is for a year.
Okay, tax relief for a year.
Yeah.
And then, okay. Now let's get more practical. Many people want to know, how do tax relief actually reduce their tax burden? Is it money that GRA is going to pay to them, or?
Okay, so tax relief lessen your tax burden. GRA doesn't pay you money. It only lessens your tax burden. So the amount, if you do the calculation per the amount we've specified or mentioned, the amount is deducted from your income before you are taxed. So basically the tax that you should have paid on that amount has been relieved.
Okay.
So it lessens your tax burden and then increases your income.
Okay. So who can benefit from the tax relief, and who is qualified to claim tax relief in Ghana? Personal tax relief in Ghana.
So a resident person who has applied and has all the listed things that we've spoken about: married, has children schooling in the country, fiscally challenged. So the person will have to be a resident here in Ghana first. Then the person would have applied and attached the documents and then submitted to the office.
Okay.
So once that is done, our officers review the documents and then work on it appropriately for you.
So another common question we always receive on our social media platform is that can one person claim more than one type of tax relief in a year?
So basically, there are the ones that we have listed. it means that you can't claim them differently. You would have to claim them once in a year, unless, of course, your situation has changed.
So an example is maybe if you were single
and you are now married, then it means that you can now come and update GRA that, oh, GRA, I am married now. So at first, I didn't used to enjoy marriage and responsibility. Probably I was only enjoying aged dependent, but now I'm married, so I'm applying for marriage and responsibility relief.
Okay. So let's talk about the process. What steps are involved in applying for tax reliefs in Ghana?
You can go to our website, or you can go to any of the GRA offices, pick up a form, complete, attach the necessary documents. So if you are married, your marriage certificates or any documentation showing that you are married. If your children are schooling in the country, any documentation at all supporting your claim, you attach it to it, and then you submit it to the closest GRA office. Then they'll work on it for you. Okay,
so for the website is gra.gov.gh. You can check it and apply quickly. He has said the process and the things that you need. So good. When should a taxpayer ideally apply? What is the best time to apply for personal tax relief, and how long does it take for our taxpayers to start enjoying these reliefs?
Okay, so the best time to apply, I would say, is now. But it's also dependent on your institution or your company where you work. So some companies have different payment plans or payment periods. Some process their PAYE in previous months, some process it in the current month. So if your institution processes it in the previous month, then it means that they should have had access to the tax relief card or documentation for the tax relief before they process the PAYE.
Okay.
So basically, before your institution processes the PAYE, they need documents from GRA saying that they can grant you the relief before they process the
documents.
Exactly.
They process the document?
No, before they process so GRA will now give approval for them to process the relief for you.
Okay.
Because they will now have to incorporate it into your PAYE.
Okay. There's a frequently asked question on our social media concerning aged dependent relief. If I apply for aged dependent relief for my parents, for a parent, can my siblings also claim the same relief for that same parent?
No.
Okay.
So only one person is entitled to a relief for that parent.
Okay.
So if you apply, your sibling cannot apply for the same parent, but can apply for another parent. Okay. So probably we have two parents, or we have maybe uncles, and then you apply. It means the children of your uncle cannot apply for the same aged dependent.
So the aged dependent, is it always our parent?
No. So the law says that it is a relative other than a spouse or a child.
So that's the example you were giving about the uncle?
Yes. So you get in our society, in our African settings, we don't have a differentiation between a dad and then an uncle, or an auntie and a mom. They are all moms. So your mother could be your auntie. But the sad aspect is that once you take it for your auntie, then it means that the children of your auntie cannot also apply for the same relief.
So does it show in the system that that parent or that relative there's somebody who has claimed that tax relief for the person already?
Yes, we are able to monitor. And when you are applying you have to attach the Ghana card of the parent. Or relative.
Okay. So let's touch another important area, which is the child education tax relief. A lot of people want to hear about it. What are the requirements for claiming child education tax relief?
Okay, so you'd have to show that the children are your ward or your children who are schooling in the country. So any documentation that you can use to prove that they are your wards and they are schooling in the country, it's fine.
Okay. So before we wrap up, we want to address this particular topic. Do persons with disability pay taxes, and are they entitled to claim tax relief in Ghana?
Yes, persons with disability pay taxes. Everyone needs to pay tax, unless it's, of course, it's a pension income or income from a cocoa farmer or the income of a president. But apart from that, you would have to pay. Everybody has to pay taxes, and yes, they also enjoy tax reliefs. Basically, DS is even more interesting. The law is saying that we don't tax 25% of their income.
Wow.
So we are saying 25% of your income, we deduct it from their income before we slap the tax on them.
Good. Amazing. This is the last question. If I apply for tax relief in the middle of the year, will I still receive the benefits for the entire year or only for the remaining months?
Okay, so the tax relief is an annual relief, so you'd have to receive the benefits for the whole year.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Cephas. But before you go or before we end the show, do you have any additions to the related topic?
Okay, so basically GRA is encouraging each one of us to apply for the tax reliefs and then attach the necessary documents. GRA is also encouraging all of us to file our returns on or before the 30th of April each year. So this April, I'm expecting that you file your return
I will.
for the previous year.
Yes.
We are all building a better nation. Ghanaians we all have to pay our little to build a better Ghana.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Cephas, for the insightful discussion.
Thank
we
you.
wish to have more conversations with you. So that'll be all for today's episode. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, Snapchat, YouTube, right here. And also, you can also follow us on our Spotify account at Ghana Revenue, GRA Ghana First.